Forget everything you thought you knew about electric vehicles because Toyota just flipped the script. While everyone's been busy obsessing over battery ranges and charging times, Toyota's CEO just pulled out something no one expected: a 9-seater, new energy vehicle that's turning the whole EV playbook upside down. And here's the crazy part: it's not just electric. It's powered by hydrogen fuel cells, blending electric drive with hydrogen muscle to deliver space, speed, and real sustainability. This isn't about chasing trends anymore. This is Toyota declaring war on the BEV status quo. So how exactly does this 9-seater break the rules? The game-changing 9-seater. What makes this new 9-seater Toyota vehicle a category disruptor rather than just another electric van? Well, let's break it down, because what Toyota is doing here is actually rewriting the rulebook on clean mobility, and it's not getting enough attention. At the center of this disruption is Toyota's brand new 2025 ProAce Verso Electric. This isn't some compact hatchback with limited range or a small crossover pretending to be eco-friendly. We are talking about a full-size people mover, a proper 9-seater MPV designed to handle family chaos, commercial demands, and even long-distance trips without any compromise on comfort or power. First off, the specs are genuinely impressive. The ProAce Verso comes with up to 3 rows of premium seating, fitting up to 9 adults in proper comfort. We are not just talking about cramming seats in a tight space here. There is legroom, headroom, and enough cabin flexibility to make even larger families or business operators happy, whether it's for school runs, airport shuttles, or simply hauling a big family on a weekend road trip. This vehicle is clearly designed to deliver both practicality and luxury. Now, under the floor sits a 75 kilowatt-hour battery pack that gives you a range of just over 270 miles. Yes, you heard that right. Over 270 miles on a single charge in a vehicle that can comfortably carry 9 people. Most electric crossovers barely touch that range with half the seating capacity. Even better, Toyota's fast charging setup allows you to top up from 10% to 80% in just 45 minutes. This means that by the time you have a coffee break or lunch, this massive people mover is ready to go again. Inside, Toyota isn't cutting corners. You get a full digital cockpit with the latest infotainment features: Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, high-end sound system options, and advanced driver assistance features. This is not a stripped-down van with some batteries thrown underneath. It feels more like a luxury lounge on wheels, with the quietness of an EV drive making every trip smoother and more relaxing. But here's where things get even more interesting. Toyota's CEO has been pretty vocal about this not being just another battery-powered van. Behind the scenes, Toyota is also pushing forward with its hydrogen fuel cell technology, and the ProAce Verso lineup is expected to expand beyond just battery electric versions. Industry insiders are already calling this Toyota's multi-energy offensive, combining electric power for short to medium trips and hydrogen fuel cell power for longer hauls and quicker refueling. And if you are wondering why that matters, think about this. Most of today's fully electric people movers either max out at 7 seats or sacrifice range dramatically when fully loaded. Families with more than 5 people or businesses that rely on larger vehicles are often stuck with diesel options because no electric alternatives actually fit their needs. That's the gap Toyota is aiming to close. With hydrogen, refueling can take under 5 minutes, similar to a petrol stop, while offering similar or even better range than a diesel van, but with 0 harmful emissions. And unlike BEV rivals that only work well within city limits, the hydrogen version of this 9-seater could easily handle cross-country journeys without range anxiety or constant planning around charging stations that slow you down. Toyota has already shown us the blueprint with their Mirai fuel cell sedan, and now they are scaling that tech into family and business vehicles. This is not just about making a green vehicle, It's about making a green vehicle that actually works for real-world people. Whether you have a big family, run a transport business, or simply want space without burning diesel, the ProAce Verso fills that missing link in the EV market. It's also interesting to look at the competition here. Most electric options like the Volkswagen ID. Buzz top out at 7 seats, and even then, cargo space gets squeezed. Tesla has avoided large MPVs entirely, and other automakers stick to either small electric vans or oversized battery SUVs that are way too expensive. Meanwhile, Toyota's approach keeps things practical, scalable, and most importantly, flexible across energy types. So let me ask you this. Would your current EV handle a fully loaded family road trip with luggage? Could it serve your business with quick turnarounds? Or would it need to sit for hours at charging stations? Do you see a 9-seater like this changing how you view electric mobility? Because what Toyota is quietly doing here could very well shake up both the family vehicle segment and the commercial transport world at the same time. But what if there's a secret weapon powering this 9-seater beyond just batteries? The hydrogen revolution, Toyota's bold bet beyond batteries. Why is Toyota doubling down on hydrogen fuel cells while others sprint toward 100% battery electric vehicles? Well, this is where the plot thickens. While brands like Tesla, Ford, and even Volkswagen are betting everything on batteries, Toyota is quietly building a completely different path, or rather, several paths, toward the same destination: zero emissions by 2050. Now, in Toyota's latest climate strategy, something stands out. They are not following the crowd. Instead of locking themselves into just battery electric vehicles, Toyota is spreading its bets across 4 key technologies: hybrids, plug-in hybrids, battery electric vehicles, and most importantly, hydrogen fuel cells. And yes, on paper, this sounds like Toyota is playing it safe. But the more you dig into it, the clearer it becomes. This is not about playing it safe. It is about winning long-term. Let's look at hydrogen. In a world where battery charging takes anywhere from 45 minutes to several hours, hydrogen flips the script. You can refuel a hydrogen vehicle in under 5 minutes, just like filling up a petrol car. But here's the real kicker. You are not just saving time. You are also getting range. A hydrogen-powered vehicle can drive 300 to 400 miles on a full tank, depending on the model, with zero tailpipe emissions. The only thing that comes out of the exhaust is pure water vapor. And that's what makes hydrogen especially exciting for bigger vehicles, like the ProAce Verso 9-seater, which needs to haul heavy loads or large groups of people without constant stops for recharging. But let's address the obvious elephant in the room. Hydrogen infrastructure is not exactly everywhere right now. Even Toyota admits that stations are limited, especially outside key areas like Japan and parts of Europe. So why are they still so confident? The answer lies in something very few carmakers want to talk about: the hard limits of battery technology. Toyota's internal studies, combined with data from their global policy reports, show that batteries rely on finite materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel, which are becoming harder and more expensive to source, not to mention the environmental damage from mining and the growing concerns about supply chain instability. In contrast, hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. It can be produced from water, natural gas, or even biomass. And Toyota is working on scaling up green hydrogen, which comes from renewable energy. This is why they believe hydrogen offers a way out of the bottlenecks choking battery electric vehicle expansion. For big vehicles like the ProAce Verso, hydrogen solves multiple problems at once. You get the long range for family road trips, rapid refueling for commercial operations, and zero emissions without ballooning battery packs that weigh down the vehicle or eat into passenger space. This is crucial because larger electric vehicles often require massive batteries, which increase costs and reduce interior room. Now, here is where Toyota's approach really separates itself from pure battery electric vehicle manufacturers. While Tesla focuses on fast charging and battery scaling, Toyota is working on something called multi-pathway flexibility. Imagine having a full-size people mover like the ProAce Verso that you can get either as a battery electric model for short urban commutes or as a hydrogen fuel cell model for longer commercial or cross-country trips. That's a strategy built for flexibility and real-world practicality, not just for marketing headlines. And it's not just the vehicles. Toyota is also investing in expanding hydrogen infrastructure, partnering with governments and energy companies in Japan and Europe, and even starting projects in the United States. They are betting that by the time mass adoption of large electric vehicles picks up, the hydrogen network will be ready to handle serious traffic. So here is a thought for you. Could hydrogen actually dethrone battery electric vehicles as the new king of green transport, especially for bigger vehicles and longer trips? Imagine a world where your future road trip does not involve 3-hour charging stops or stressing over charging stations packed with queues. Imagine driving across the country with quick refueling and zero emissions. That's the vision Toyota is quietly building toward. But what does this all mean for their actual rollouts? What's Toyota's game plan for getting these vehicles on the road and into showrooms? Market strategy and the future of urban mobility. How will Toyota's 9-seater new energy vehicle rollout disrupt urban transit and family travel? Let's unpack it, because this is where the strategy behind the ProAce Verso starts to really stand out. This is not just another green box on wheels. Toyota is making a calculated move to dominate both family garages and urban streets in a way most electric vehicle companies are not even thinking about. The first big clue lies in Toyota's rollout strategy. Right now, they are already pushing the Alphard and Velfire plug-in hybrid 6-seaters in Japan. These are luxury vans that blend battery electric convenience with the backup of a combustion engine. The reason? Toyota understands how Japanese families and urban businesses operate. Flexibility comes first. You need space, you need reliability, and you need freedom from constant charging. That is exactly what the hybrids offer in the short term. But things get even more interesting when we look at what is next. By 2025 into 2026, Toyota plans to go full electric in the people mover segment with the ProAce Verso. And this 9-seater is not a side project. It is a major piece of Toyota's future vision, designed to hit Europe and other global markets hard. We are talking about a vehicle that slots into busy cities, serves large families, covers commercial fleets, and moves passengers, all without emissions but with actual practicality. What Toyota is really betting on here is the evolution of urban mobility. Cities around the world are clamping down on emissions. Low-emission zones, congestion charges, and bans on older diesel vehicles, these are becoming the new normal. But most fully electric options out there either shrink space, suffer poor range, or price themselves out of the average family's reach. Toyota's answer is simple: build something big, comfortable, and emission-free that still works in real life. The ProAce Verso delivers on this with quiet electric driving for urban zones, meaning you can glide through traffic without noise or pollution. Yet, in future versions, especially with hydrogen fuel cells, you will also get the power and range needed for longer drives. This is where Toyota is solving two problems at once. You have clean, quiet, urban transport when you need it, and long-distance muscle for those weekend road trips or cross-country business runs. And let's talk about how this slots into both family and commercial spaces. For families, the ProAce Verso is a game-changer. 3 proper rows, up to 9 seats, and enough room for luggage, strollers, pets, or just the entire neighborhood if you feel generous. You are no longer stuck choosing between a cramped electric crossover or a noisy old diesel van. For businesses, it is a perfect fit for taxis, shuttle services, ride-sharing, and even corporate fleets. The battery version works well within cities, while future hydrogen options bring quick refueling and no range issues for regional travel. And Toyota is not starting from scratch here. They have done this playbook before. When the world was busy writing off hybrids, Toyota kept pushing and perfected them. Today, over 28 million hybrid vehicles have been sold globally. They did not rush into battery electric vehicles just because it was trendy. Instead, they waited and developed multiple technologies, and now they are coming to every sector at once. They are using that same experience to challenge the pure electric vehicle makers by offering more flexibility, lower ownership costs, and actual practical performance. So, do you see this as a genuine car revolution that finally fixes electric vehicle shortcomings? Or is it just another green gimmick that big brands will use to sell expensive vehicles? Because Toyota is clearly playing the long game here, and they are positioning themselves not just to sell cars, but to shape the future of how people and businesses move around cities. However, with Toyota making these moves, what does it mean for the global electric vehicle market? What happens when a giant like Toyota takes on Tesla and other battery-only companies head-on? Industry impact. Why this might shock the entire EV industry. Is Toyota's 9-seater new energy vehicle the disruptor the electric vehicle industry did not see coming? Because after looking at how this plays out, it really feels like the game is shifting beneath everyone's feet, and a lot of the big names might not even realize it yet. Right now, most of the electric vehicle world has been charging down the same narrow path. Full battery electrics, huge battery packs, and longer ranges, but always stuck circling the same headaches: raw material shortages, charging bottlenecks, and the same recycled design language of smaller sedans and crossovers. Toyota looked at this, smiled, and decided to take a completely different direction. They have publicly said they are not rushing into the full battery electric market like everyone else, and this 9-seater ProAce Verso proves they are sticking to their strategy. What we are seeing is a classic case of Toyota doubling down on what works. They are blending battery electric drive for cities, hydrogen for long range, and even keeping hybrids in the lineup. Industry giants like Tesla, Volkswagen, and Ford are laser-focused on pure battery electric rollouts, while Toyota is saying, "Hold on a minute, let's actually think about what customers want." This approach is not just going to shake things up on the showroom floor. It could end up forcing countries to rethink their entire energy and infrastructure priorities. And this is where things get really interesting. Right now, a lot of governments have been shoveling billions into electric charging stations, pushing policies that encourage battery electric adoption. But if Toyota's multi-pathway strategy catches on, which the numbers suggest it might, we could be looking at a balancing act. Cities and countries might soon be splitting their budgets between charging station expansion and brand-new hydrogen refueling stations. You can already see it happening in Japan, with Toyota leading a partnership to boost hydrogen pumps by 2030. Even in Europe, more countries are testing hydrogen hubs for taxis, buses, and logistics fleets. And environmentally, this strategy could upend a lot of the battery electric marketing we are used to hearing. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. You can produce it locally using renewable energy. It stores easily, and when used, it only releases water vapor. Compared to battery electric vehicles, which rely on lithium, cobalt, and nickel, elements with complicated supply chains and mining issues, hydrogen is looking like a more sustainable long-term bet. Even hybrids, which were once criticized for not being clean enough, are proving to be a huge emission success story when you zoom out globally. A recent study showed that Toyota's hybrid fleet has helped avoid over 189 million tons of CO2 emissions. That is not a gimmick. That is real, measurable impact. And then there is the economic side of it. If Toyota's strategy works, we could see a reshaping of the market, where vehicles are no longer boxed into one category. Instead of choosing between a 7-seater battery electric or a diesel van, you could have access to a 9-seater clean energy multi-use vehicle that adapts to your needs. Families, ride-share drivers, Airport shuttles and delivery companies could benefit from a flexible vehicle with multiple fueling options. That means fewer compromises, fewer restrictions, and fewer limitations on where you can drive or how far you can go. And let's not forget the technical side that people often overlook. Hydrogen fuel cells are fast to refill, around 3 to 5 minutes, similar to gasoline. They provide longer ranges than most battery electric vehicles, especially in larger vehicles where batteries get heavy and eat up space. Toyota's research and development team has been fine-tuning fuel cells for over 2 decades, meaning they have a technology advantage that most of the electric vehicle world simply cannot match overnight. The ProAce Verso is just the first step. Hydrogen sedans, trucks, and buses are all in the pipeline. And there we have it. So here is the big question. Are you still in the all-battery electric camp, or do you think hydrogen has a shot to be the new king of green mobility?